So let us start yung ating discussion ng power industrial plant for our advanced air pressure. So basahin ko lang. A vessel of volume 8.7 cubic meter contains air, dry saturated steam at a total pressure of 0.06 bar, temperature of 29 degrees Celsius. So yung PSAT is equivalent to 0.04 bar. Specific volume is equivalent to 34.8 cubic meter per kilogram. Taking R for air as 287 joule per kilogram Kelvin, calculate the mass of steam and mass of air. So, naganap ng mass ng steam at mass ng air itself. So, paano natin yan, sir, masasolve? So, pag naganap tayo sa atin ng mass ng steam, given tayo ng volume na 8.7, pwede natin gawin is i-apply natin yung principle natin sa mga steam. So, hindi po pwedeng gamitin yung PBMRT since ito ay isang water, diba? Hindi mo pwedeng i-apply yung ideal gas. So, pag water, tapos naghanap tayo ng mass, gagamitin natin yung total volume. Then, i-equate natin yung total volume dun sa mass times specific volume. So, from the problem, merong specific volume na binigay. So, i-transpose mo lang specific volume sa ilalim, complete na natin yung mass ng steam. So that's basically 8.7 divided by yung total volume is 8.7 divided by yung specific volume ng steam, which is given as 34.8. So divide lang natin tong 8.7 ng 34.8 plus equals. Sara makuha ko yung mass ng steam natin is 0.25. Ngayon, meron pa tayong isang substance. What's steam? Meron tayong air. So, na-complete na natin yung mass ng steam that is equivalent to 0.25. So, from the choices, which is ito isa sa mga hinahanap na mass ng steam. Yung 0.25 ay dalawa. Isang letter A, isang letter C. So, anong gagawin natin dito, sir? Bali, kailangan natin computein yung mass ng air para ma-solve natin yung problem na to. Ngayon, kung mass ng air naman yung pinag-usapan natin, that is an ideal gas, we can consider that as an ideal gas. Then, we can use yung PBMRT relation natin, di ba? Yung paborito mo. So, PBMRT, so pressure ng air, volume ng air, plus mass ng air, R ng air, temperature ng air. So, ano sa yung pressure? Ang pressure ng air, ikukunin natin yung partial pressure ng air. Ang given sa atin ay yung total pressure, which is equivalent to 0.06 bar. And yung given sa atin na isa pa is yung partial pressure ng steam. Yung PSAT na binigay dito, isa yung partial pressure ng steam natin. So we will simply substitute that to get the partial pressure ng air. So how are we going to get yung partial pressure ng air? So subtract lang natin sa total yung steam. That is 0.06 yun yung total minus 0.04 steam. So bale, pag kinumpit natin yan, may kukuha natin is 0.02 bar. So kung hindi kayo sigurado yung 0.02 bar na yan, pwede nyo naman gamitin sa calculator. 0.06 minus 0.04. So, makuha nyo 0.02. Sir, meron na tayong pressure ng air. Pwede na natin gamitin to solve for our mass. So, paano ba kunin yung mass? Ilalagay lang natin dito sa PBMR. By the way, para maging consistent yung units natin pag nag-compute na tayo, yung bar na units, palitan natin yung into kilopascal. So, meron tayo dito conversion. And so, convert lang natin yung bar into kilopascal. So, 100 kilopascal is 1 bar. So, multiply lang ng 100. Kung ayaw naman yung ganyang conversion, pwede nyo rin gamitin yung 101.325 kilopascal over 1.01325 bar. In any case, yung mga complete nating value ng partial pressure dito in kilopascal is 200 kilopascal or rather 2 kilopascal. Yan. So, para sure tayo, pwede nyo i-calculate. So, multiply nyo lang ito ng 100. So pag meron na kayong value, partial pressure natin, and so substitute na natin para masolve na natin yung mass ng air. So pressure ng air, that is 2, times volume ng air, that is same as the vessel volume, 8.7, equals yung mass ng air times yung R ng air, 0.287, times yung temperature na 29. Ano yung temperature ng steam, yun din yung temperature ng air. And so thermal equilibrium sila. In any case, same units naman niya, consistent na. Kilopascal, cubic meter, ito ay kilopascal. Pag chinek niyo yung mga units, this is kilopascal. Then this volume is cubic meter. Yung R natin is kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So yung 29 plus 273, yan yung absolute. Kelvin yan. So, pwede nyo i-cancel out yung Kelvin. Kilopascal cubic meter, pag kinancel out nyo, that is kilojoule. So, matitirang unit is kilograms pa rin. So, lagay lang natin yung 2 times 8.7. Equate natin dun sa mass times R ng 8, that's 0.87. Times temperature, that is 29. Ito yung absolute, so that's 270. So press shift solve, yung value ng mass, that is 0.201. So anyway, yung closest answer naman natin dito ay 0.204 kilograms. So yung letter A. Okay, so let us continue yung ating discussion na power industrial plant, not atmospheric pressure. Basahin ko na yung problem. What is the temperature difference if the furnace, the temperature is 320 degrees Celsius and outside is negative 10 degrees Celsius? So, paano natin solve? So, to solve this, we can simply use yung relation na change in Fahrenheit, change in Celsius, tapos i-relate natin yun sa change in Kelvin tsaka change in Rankine. But since kailangan mo na units dito ay Rankine, change in temperature, then we can actually directly use na yung change in degree Rankine, di ba? So change in degree Rankine is 9 pips din, pareho lang din sa Fahrenheit and Celsius ng change in temperature din. But we know that delta T ng Kelvin is delta T din ng Celsius. So therefore, yung delta T ng Rankine na equivalent sa 9 pips ng delta T ng Kelvin is equivalent din sa 9 pips ng delta T ng Celsius. So magiging delta T ng Rankine is 9 pips ng degree Celsius, that is 320 minus yung negative 10 natin. So negative sa negative kaya naging positive. So from that, gagawin lang natin is 9 pips times yung change in temperature is 320. So minus that is positive. So 10. Sige, nakalagay dyan negative 10. Minus may negative 10, that's positive. Pag pinindot natin sa calculator yan, kuha natin yung value ng delta T ng Rankine, that is 594 degree. Okay. From the choices, letter B. And sige, so discuss natin itong problem na to para sa ating advance na pressure para sa hourness. Tayin ko lang. A Carnot cycle is represented by a rectangle in the TS diagram that operates between temperature limits 300 Kelvin, 650 Kelvin. Inscribed within a rectangle is an ellipse of maximum major and minor axis that represents a cycle operating at the same temperature limits. So given that the semi-major axis of the ellipse is 2 times that of the semi-minor, calculate the thermal efficiency of the cycle represented by an ellipse. Computin lang natin to. So, ang gusto niyang sabihin is that meron tayo dito Carnot cycle. Let us consider the TS diagram of this Carnot cycle. So, ang Carnot cycle, alam natin, it is a rectangle. Ngayon, hindi daw rectangle yung common na Carnot cycle yung binigay sa problem. So, instead of rectangle, ang nakikita daw natin sa loob ay ellipse. Ito yung ellipse natin. And so, paano natin, sir, masasolve yung thermal efficiency ng cycle kung ellipse instead of rectangle yung gagamitin natin? So, sabi dun sa problem, ito yan yung illustration natin. Sabi dun sa problem, yung semi-major ng ellipse is twice ng semi-minor. So, meaning, kung ito yung semi-minor natin, part na to, yung semi-major, yung kalahati lang ng part, ellipse, nakarektangle. So, yan yung ating A. Ito yung A, ito yung B. Then we can say that yung A equals to B. Diba? And sabi sa problem, that is basically, we can relate that, diba, dun sa temperature change natin. So, yung temperature limits is 300 and 650 degrees Kelvin. So, yung mataas, 650. Kapag plinat mo yung 650, andito yan. Tapos, yung mababa naman, which is ito, yan naman yung 300. So, from this, we can see that etong buong to, yan ay basically yung change in temperature ng ating cycle. Kung kalahati niyan is P, then yung total niyan, yung buong kasama itong ilalim, is basically 2 P. So we can say that 2B is equivalent dun sa difference ng dalawa, 650 minus 300. So from this, we can solve yung B natin. Solve natin yung B. So that is 350 over. So 650 minus 300. Ayan, ay equivalent sa 350. So equivalent yan sa 2B. Kaya dinivide yung 350 ng 2. So nakuha na natin yung B. So pag kinuha natin yung B, yung makukuha natin dyang fraction or rather ratio, so is equivalent to 175. So 175 yung B natin. So saan nakuha na natin yung B? 75 Kelvin. Ngayon, we need to solve for work net. But di kasi natin pwede gamitin yung formula ng thermal efficiency na 1 minus TL over TH kahit Carnot cycle yan, since yung nahanap natin ng thermal efficiency ay yung ellipse. Yung typical na Carnot cycle ay square, di ba? Or rather rectangle. Doon lang applicable yung 1 minus TL over TH. Pero kung yan ay ibang shape na, such as ellipse, hindi na pwede yun. Sige, so, ngayon, kung meron ka ng A and B, ano naman yung gagawin natin, sir, to solve yung ating thermal efficiency? So, we need to know yung work net. Kasi, yung thermal efficiency is work net over QA. So, basically, solve efficiency, we need work net. Bali yung work net natin is basically yung area ng ellipse. Diba? From thermodynamics, yung area under dito sa ating TS diagram is basically work net. Itong area sa loob ng ellipse is yun yung work net. Kaya nasabi natin ay work net is area ng ellipse. But we know that yung area ng ellipse from mathematics is pi AB. Kasi nakuha na natin yung A at B. Simply substitute lang na pi AB, di ba? So by the way, ito yung in-explain natin kanina. Tanggalin ko yung calculator. So yung work net is area ng ellipse. From thermodynamics, yung area sa loob ng cycle, yun yung work net ng cycle. Kung yung area niya, ano cycle natin is ellipse, then yung work net niya is yung area ng ellipse. Diba? Itong nasa loob. So yung area ng ellipse is also, we know, formula nun is pi AB. But since nakuha na natin yung A and B, 350 tsaka 175, then we can now solve for our area. Okay, so isa-isayin lang natin. 350 times 175. Ilagay lang natin yung pi. So, premise natin equals, makuha natin yung value, 61250 pi. So, nakuha na natin yung work net. Ano pang kailangan natin para solve yung thermal efficiency? Siyempre yung QA. Pag sinabing QA naman, yan naman yung area bounded nung pinakataas na portion ng ellipse natin. Ano ba yung pinakamataas na portion ng ellipse? Basically, ito yun, di ba? And so, any area bounded by this portion of the ellipse is basically QA. Di ba? Pababa, kasama yung baba siya. So, kailangan natin masolve yung area na yan. Paano natin gagawin yung set? So, this is rectangle, di ba? Itong ilalim. So, para makuha yung area na yan, edi syempre, pindutin lang yung palit. Base times height. Similarly, pag in-extend pa natin yung rectangle dito, this is also base times height, di ba? So therefore, yung QA natin is simply yung area rectangle natin sa gitna ng ellipse, di ba? Saka hanggang sa ilalim ng axis natin, hanggang sa axis natin, plus yung kalahati ng ellipse, di ba? Yung kalahati ng ellipse, yan, plus yung area ng rectangle na to. Yan yung buong QA natin. So, ano ba yung height ng ating rectangle? So, yung height ng rectangle ay temperature mean. Tapos yung base niya is yung delta S plus 1 up area ng ellipse, which is yung work net natin. Ngayon, meron na yung T-min. So, yung T-min, yan yung average ng dalawang temperatures. So, balikan natin yung calculator natin. Yung T-min natin, yan yung average ng temperatures, which is nagkataon na yan yung yan. So, yan yung height and height na itong rectangle. Nakakompute natin. So, ito yung height ng rectangle. Okay, so, solve lang natin yan. Bali. Yan. So, bali, that will be equivalent to 475. So, kaya naging 475 yan kasi kinuha natin yung B, di ba? Plus yung lower limit na 300. So, ito yung T-min na tinutukoy dyan. Height ng rectangle na to. Yung part na to. And so, that is 300. Itong portion na to, sabi natin kanina. Plus B, that is 175. So, 300. Pag-discuss natin, it's 300. Plus yung B, that's 175. So, makukuha natin, that's 470. So, that's the reason bakit yung T-min natin dito ay 470. And, yun. Yan yung height, total height ng rectangle na to. Which is yun yung 300, yun yung lower limit. Plus yung gitna, di ba? Which is yung equal sa B, is 170. And so, kung meron ka ng height ng rectangle, kilang ka ng piece, that is delta S. Yun nga lang, etong delta S na to, yan yung major axis ng ellipse. So, that is basically yung 2A. Kasi yung A na compute natin, that is 350. Ano ba yung price ng A? So, i-twice lang natin 350. That's 350 times 2. 350 times 2. Then, equals lang natin. So, makuha natin 700. So, that's the reason bakit yung delta S natin ay 700. And, so, pag meron ka ng ganyan, ito namang plus 1 up work net. Kasi yung kulang pa dun sa UA natin is itong nasa taas na portion ng ellipse natin. So, yan yung another kasama sa QA. So, yun yung kalahati ng ellipse. And nakuha na naman natin yung area ng ellipse na buo. Kalahati na lang natin. So, therefore, pwede na natin makomplete yung QA natin. That's 475 times 700. Plus, this is 1 half. times yung 61,250 natin. That's 5. So, simply press equals. So, makukuha na natin yung value ng QA. That is 428,711.275 kilojoule. Pag meron na tayo nito, for QA, we can now solve for our efficiency. Ang efficiency is work net over QA. Try ko lang yung portion ng drawing natin na may 2A. And hopefully nasundan ba't naging 2A yan. Okay, so yung work net is 61,250. Okay? Then yung QA is 428,711.75. So times 100%. Okay, anyway, lagay lang natin sa fractions. So bali 61,250. 61,250 pi divided by 428,711.75 times 100 para maging 100% na efficiency. So press lang natin equals n. So makukuha na natin yung value ng efficiency natin. That is 44.88%. So from the choices, yan yung letter A. And sige, so continue lang natin yung discussion regarding din sa ating power industrial plant engineering na advanced air pressure. Basahin ko lang. An airplane is flying at an altitude of 4,800 feet. So calculate the approximate atmospheric pressure at this altitude. So to solve this problem, we can use yung compressible formula na na-introduce sa atin sa fluid mechanics, yung may Euler number, or rather, Euler number tama, yung 2.712. 2.716. Anyway, in a much more simpler way of solving this, we can use yung na-introduce sa diesel or plant na discussion about dun sa pressure ng atmospheric. So, we can use yung experimental evidence that at 1,000 feet of rise, 1,000 feet rise of elevation or height, mababawasan yung pressure natin ng 1 inch mercury. That's the average, di ba? So, we can use that concept from diesel. So, kung walang binigay na atmospheric pressure, we can consider yung 29.92, di ba? And we can consider that 29.92 as our reference atmospheric pressure. Okay, so, yung pressure to natin at an elevation, that is 29.92 inch mercury minus 1 inch mercury per 1,000 feet. Yan yung concept natin. Times yung elevation na given na 4,000 feet. 4,800 feet. So, cancel out yung feet natin. Magiging inch mercury. So, pwede natin gamitin yan yung approximate formula in pressure at an elevation. Diba? Mas mabilis kasi gamitin yan, lalo na kapag yung unit ng height natin naka-fit. So, multiply mo lang yan ng 40. So, once we do this, makuha natin yung value ng pressure ng atmospheric as 25.12 inch mercury. Ngayon, PSI yung ating kailangan. Ano natin gagawin yan? I-convert natin yung inch mercury into PSI. 14.7 PSI is 29.92 inch mercury. So, ganyan lang gagawin. I-convert lang. So, multiply natin to ng 14.7 divide by 29.92. So, press lang natin equals. Kuha na natin yung value natin. That is equivalent to 12.34 PSI. Ating letter B. Sige, so continue lang natin yung ating discussion para sa ating advanced air pressure ng Power Industrial Plant Engineering. So, meron tayo ditong air at 1 megapascal at 310 degrees Celsius is expanded to 50 kilopascal in accordance with the relation PB raised to 1.25 equals constant. So calculate the work done. So, kung pansin natin, naghanap ng work, and meron tayo ditong PB raised to C. PB raised to 1.25 equals C. So, kung napansin nyo na may equation na binigay, tapos may exponent yung volume natin, i-check natin ano yung exponent na. Kung yan ay value ng 1, then that is isothermal. Kung 0 yun, that is constant pressure. Infinity on constant volume. Kung K yan, that is isentropic. But under those criteria, wala siya doon. So kung hindi siya 1, hindi siya 0, hindi siya infinity, hindi rin siya K, then that is a polytropic process. So pag naghanap ng work done, ang consideration natin dito ay non-flow. Kadalasan naman non-flow muna ang isolve. Pag may lumabas sa non-flow, yun na yun. Pag wala, try isolve yung steady flow. So ang work ng non-flow is P2V2 minus P1V1 plus N. Yun nga lang, dun sa problem, I think mas mabilis itong isolve pag ginamit natin yung ating temperature, diba? So instead of solving this using volume pressure, since meron tayo dito pressure na dalawa, tapos isang temperature. So instead of solving this pa, although may given tayong dalawang pressure, wala tayong volume, so hindi maganda gamitin to. Kung gagamitin natin yung another variation na to. Pag multiply mo yung pressure tsaka volume, makakuha ka ng mass times R times T. Diba? Pag in-equate mo yun, yung paborito mo, PBMRT, dun sa PB natin, makukuha mo yung MRT. Diba? So, 0.2 minus 0.1. So, T2 minus T1. So, sir, bakit wala na yung mass? Pag tinignan mo yung choices per kilogram, ibig sabihin nun per unit mass. So, pag per unit mass, yung mass mo 1 na. Kung matitira dyan, times change in temperature, T2 minus T1. So, R, air constant. Yung T1 is given 310 degrees Celsius. Yung N natin, that's also given, nandun sa relation ng 1. Pero wala pa tayong T2. So, kung wala pa tayong T2, then isa-solve natin yun. Sir, paano i-solve yun? Since meron tayo ditong dalawang pressure, isang temperature, tapos polytropic, that is basically masasolve by T2 to P2 nil. So, T2 over T1 equals P2 over P1 raised to N minus 1 over N. Ngayon, yung T2 natin, i-solve natin. So, yung T1 is basically Celsius, 310. Gawin ng absolute, so plus 273. Kaya may plus 273 tayo dito. Equals P2, that is 250 kilopascal, over P1, that is 1 megapascal. So, convert yung 1 megapascal into kilopascal, so times 1,000. Kaya naging 1,000 kilopascal to. 1 megapascal tong 1,000 na yan, ginawa lang kilo. So, raised to N, so yung N mo is 1.25 minus 1, that is 0.25. So, basically, dun galing yung 1.25 minus 1. Tapos yung N mo is 1.25. And so, pindutin lang natin yung calculator. I-solve natin si T2. Yung T2 natin, divided by T1, 310.273. Equate lang natin ng 250 divided by 1,000. Tapos i-raise natin ng 0.25 divided by 1.2. Tapos i-shift solve lang natin. So, makakompute natin dito yung T2. So, na-compute natin T2 is equivalent to 441.83 Kelvin. Pag meron na tayong T2, yun na kulang natin sa formula. So, work equals 0.287 divided by 1 minus n, that is 1.25. 1 minus 1.25 is negative 0.25 times T2, 441.3 minus T1, that is 580 Kelvin. So, saan nakuha yung 583 Kelvin? That's basically 310 ginawang absolute. So, plus ng 272. And then you check yan sa calculator. 310 minus plus 273, that is 583. Sige, so in any case, Kelvin to. Yung unit na tong R is kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Lumakancel yung Kelvin. Literal is kilojoule per kilogram. So, therefore, ito na natin yung pindutin. That is 0.28708. Actually, pwedeng 0.287 lang. Pero pag pinahaba mo lang, may 0.08. Anyway, 441 minus 23 minus 580. So, press lang natin equals. Makuha natin yung value ng work. That is equivalent to 162.11. From the choices, yun yung letter A.